Good morning, I'm Andy and I'm going to do a quick video on setting up the Power BI reports in Business Central, the new ones that came out in the, I guess, last year's release wave 2. So, starting off here on my sandbox, and I've got a tab open here for the Business Central reporting, which you can get to with aka.ms/BC reporting. So it's definitely worth having a look at the docs. Usually it's a general good rule, right? But here specifically, there's a lot of great information here, and especially when you get down to the nitty gritty on the actual Power BI reports themselves, I'd suggest definitely have a skim through for the area that interests you. There's a whole suite of different reports across different areas: finance, sales, purchasing, blah blah blah. So it's definitely worth having a look at the detail here. So let's just flick through to click through here. So we've got some, so let's set up the finance role. And the video here was really just to kind of show the steps, but also multi-company, to leverage these reports across multiple companies, you do have to add them into multiple workspaces. And there was a question on one of the forums recently, like what are the steps to add it again and again and again. And Microsoft are aware of the. I guess it's a limitation. It's just the way it's designed. I think they're aware they're perhaps going to do something to better support multi-company, but I think not in the next couple of release waves, but maybe in the future. So let's have a look at finance. And it's got a lot of information here. I'll skim through all of this. I was just going to go to the learn about setting up the finance app. So you would get there eventually. There's a load of information here. The bit I was looking for was the actual link to the app. Would you find it this way? Tons and tons of information. Kenny has been very busy, and the whole team, I guess, have been very busy on the documentation. It is definitely worth having a good look through. So what I'll do is pop back to Business Central, and there's a couple of ways you could approach this. You can click through to Power BI and add the app that way. Works. Get apps. You can start searching for it. Finance app. Finance Power. I played around how to find the damn thing in the list. It's not so obvious. So if I just type in Business Central, that's actually one of the that's the usage analytics. So that's a great app that works with telemetry. But where are the rest? You've got to scroll through miles down to find things. So the discoverability is not brilliant, but there it is. So you can install it here. Yeah, let's do that then. So here it is. Short links to the other ones. Let's get it now. So there are a couple of steps you need to go through. First of all, you need to install the Power BI app in your Power BI portal. That will create a workspace. It will create the app, and it will create the semantic model, which is the data connection itself. You need to connect. The app will come in immediately with some sample data, which is handy, just to sort of show you what it should look like, perhaps. And then you need to connect this app to the specific company you want to use it with, and then within the specific company, you can surface the Power BI app in Business Central as well. And so inside Business Central, you need to point Business Central at the app in Power BI portal. So it's kind of a two-way setup. Anyway, I've added the sample one. What I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to go straight in and add it again. And I'll explain why in a second. So let's add another one. So I'll go back to Get Apps. Now, one thing you notice under All Apps is there is the one that I've already installed. If I click on here, that's not going to install it again. I've got to go back to the template apps, find it again. Found done. The easiest way to do it was to type a unique part of it, which was Finance Power. And they're all named that: Sales Power BI app for Business Central, Inventory Power BI app. So that's a good way of searching them out in the list. So I've gone to install it again now, and now it's popped up and it says, do you want to update the existing app? No, we don't. We want to actually install a new one. And what's the name of the new one? So I'm going to call this one, what's the name of my company here? Cronus UK Limited. UK Limited. And this is the finance app, so I'll maybe call it something like that. Installed. So that's now the second time that's been installed, and that will show up in a moment. And then you have to, at the minute, for every single company, go through this process and connect the data, and in the company point it to the app. So it's a fair bit of clicking required. So let's go through to the app here, and let's connect this back to Cronus. So environment, it says here, for example, Cronus. That's a terrible tip because it's the environment it wants. So the environment here is just Sandbox, and the company was Cronus UK Limited. And then it's going to want me to log in, all that good stuff. Yep, sign in and connect. And let's do that one. Okay, and it's refreshing. And then it will show the data from the actual company, which is just Cronus data. So mostly most things are happening in 2023 in that example data. I haven't had a good chance to look at the new Contoso when you set a new company up now in the new 0.3 version of BC. It's now goodbye Cronus. Well, you get one copy of Cronus, but if you do a new company, it's all through the Contoso wizard. Right, that's just taken. Oh, there we go. So it's refreshed. All right, so that's now reflecting the data from the actual company itself. And if I go back to my apps, there's that one showing up. When you install it the second time around, it's kind of convenient. It names the app and the workspace consistently, so you can find it quite easily. So we've connected the Power BI data set, the semantic model here. So the semantic model has been connected, and it's you can set a refresh schedule, all that good stuff. But inside Business Central, I now need to connect this company to that Power BI, so that when I go to the finance report here to surface it inside Business Central, it's going to connect to the right Power BI. So I think there's a wizard actually. So let's just go straight through as if we were going to go to it. So yeah, it's asked me to do the wizard. So that's quite handy. So check your license, fair enough. Okay, wow, that wizard was not what I was expecting. Let's just go through to the setup itself. Power BI connector setup. Here we go. So here's some useful connection information. So this is kind of handy for reference when you on that other page when it was asking for those parameters. So if you wanted to copy paste, that's the place to copy paste from, or exactly how to type it. So here are all the different reports you can install, the apps. We've just done the finance report. Let's point it through. So this will just show me all the ones I've got. So I've got that one I left with the demo data. Cronus was the one that I connected through to this company. So all manual, like you've got to choose both sides. So if you had 10 companies, 20 companies, 100 companies, could get a bit fiddly. Right, and then you can start putting other filters, and that will affect some of the data that's going to go through, but I'm just going to leave that for now just to sort of show the principle of it. So let's have a look. So now if I do the finance report, that's going to take me through to, and it's just going to show in Business Central that particular Power BI app with all the various different pages. So great. And then, I won't go into the detail of all the reports, but have a look at the docs for all the details on all of these different pages. Another thing you might need to immediately set up, as you can see here. So, for example, where are my customers? Maybe I don't have any customers with any balances, but that's not the case in Cronus. Last time I remember looking. Yeah, we've got some balances here. So what's going on there? So I did have a look at this earlier, and it actually turns out it's all to do with the GL account category. So Power BI. So this is another part of the setup you're going to need to bear in mind. So Power BI account categories. So in here we define the GL account category and then a category term, mapping it to a category term inside Power BI. And this is basically the reason that one is blank at the minute. Well, it's not actually this one. So it has got mapped to a GL account category called accounts receivable. This one is not mapped. Anyway, they need mapping. So let's just sort all that out. So first of all, let's make sure that there is a accounts payable GL account category, which we've got current liabilities payable. So we haven't really got a accounts payable GL account category. So let's add that in. Accounts payable, and then let's pick the accounts there. Hopefully, your setup would already have this sorted. We've got a little bit wider, so we've got accounts payable. So we've got a couple of different accounts payables. Let's just bung those both in the category. Bang, right. So that's in. And the accounts receivable, which was actually the blank one, there's actually nothing set up. So from a GL account point of view, so let's fix that. Accounts receipt, let's have both of those. Bang. Okay. Right, so now we've got those categories. So that's just one small example of where the data wasn't pulling through. These categories are used throughout the Power BI app, so it might be worth double checking that config if you've got anything missing or not working or whatever. So let's refresh the data. Let's go through to my connected to the company app. Let's refresh the model. Let's having a think about it. So let's imagine we had another company we wanted to connect to, Contoso North I've done here. So this one was the one with the Contoso example data in it, just from scratch. All right, so if we go to Power BI, connect to setup, here's the information that you'd want to copy. Let's just grab that. And then back to Power BI, that's doing its thing. Let's install another app while we're waiting for that. Get apps, template apps, Finance Power BI app for Business Central. And then again, we're just going to pick that. And it flashes open, install a new app, and yeah, so it's Contoso North Finance this time. All right, and then go through and repeat the steps of both connecting the app data model to Business Central and inside Business Central, pointing that Business Central company to that particular app. There we go. So that's it really. Let's go back to Cronus. Let's just go back off that page first. Go back to Cronus. And now, when we go through to the finance report here, it should have updated those customers and vendors little charts with the correct receivables accounts. Bingo. Happy days. Alrighty. That's it. Any questions? Comment on LinkedIn or whatever. Give me a shout if you get stuck. Always happy to have a conversation.